Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Kindred, One Business Initiative series, brought to you by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government under the leadership of distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma. My name is Kenneth Amechi and I'm a Professor of Business and Sustainable Development at the University of Edinburgh in the UK. I also hold a chair in Sustainable Finance at the European University Institute in Florence. And I'm the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to what will be an interesting session because it's all about money. We've talked about the One Kindred, One Business Initiative for a long time now. People keep asking us questions about who will give us money. So today we have a chance to see where the money can come from. But before we start, I would like to invite my co-moderators, Professor Jude Nzako and Dr. Okeanukwem, to say hello to you.
Hi, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Interesting day, as you said. Everybody wants money, and particularly the OKOBI participants, they need money. So it's promised to be an interesting day. So viewers, I welcome you to today's webinar. I hope you sit back and enjoy. My name is Professor Jude Nzako. I'm the Director General for Imo State Investment Promotion Agency. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah,
Dr. Oke.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Okeanukwem, former Commissioner for Special Duties in Imo State. Honestly, this is a life-changing program for OKOBI businesses. I therefore advise that all those who are hooked up to the program, they should listen attentively to know how they can access funds. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if you are new to the One Kindred, One Business Initiative program, I would like to play this jingle to help you appreciate what it is all about.
Susie, name I hope you some. What you with alone? No, your company. You see one name, but do. Oh, you want royal company with her. Namuke, OKOBI. OKOBI. Equal to Penyamasu. Oh, Shelemania. I won't train you, Maka. Yabuni, OKOBI. Gente. OKOBI, what matter? My government, he were. Iji Kochapobi, I'm not wanting Madisi Agara. OKOBI get killed up with Hiron. Makagio, Makon Bodogini, Nani, Ariana Buru, get Jeputan, no, you bula gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ pineapple, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazicha usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ ga-kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo. Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ahụ ozugbo. Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 ma ọ bụ 09114360076 09114360076. Ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara OKOBI. OKOBI wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma. OKOBI, ụmụnna wike, ọwụ ha agha.
So thank you and welcome back.
Yes, I'm Tech Root, and yes, I am here to support and contribute to the furthering of this program and for the benefit of Imo people. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Igwe. I think before we start and we go into the different aspects, all the while we always talk about the opportunities OKOBI presents. And OKOBI is One Kindred, One Business Initiative. The OKOBI is about group ownership, group entrepreneurship. But we also know that it is very, very difficult to work as a group. So based on your research and the work you do, what can you tell us about possibly some of the issues people might have in terms of working together? And I want to be much more specific here. So the issue of trust, for example, or even some of our religious beliefs that may come in the way of people working together. We want to draw from your experience to see what you think about some of these belief systems and how we can overcome them for positive gains.
Yes, thank you, Professor Mechi. The fact there is that, like you said, the OKOBI business model is predicated on cooperation and collaboration. And one important ingredient in enhancing cooperation and collaboration is trust. Yes, but in our communities, there are narratives that are often used to undermine trust and which could hamper the ability of our people to take advantage of this important business model. For instance, when some people come to the communities, you want to start a business, sometimes they suspect it is linked with what they call ritual money or wealth. And if I'm to put it in the Igbo language, they say, so there are occult economic narratives we also need to highlight in our efforts to promote the OKOBI business model. And we find a way to persuade people, educate and reorient their minds. Too often, a lot of people associate business progress with some kind of ritual. They think that maybe when you come to the village, especially from the city or from overseas, they think you have come to either use their star. They think that you are trying to sacrifice them in one form or another. So a lot of people are actually reluctant to embark on cooperative business ventures because they don't want to, how do they say it, run far, or they want to be associated with some of these narratives. They don't want them to be accused. They don't want to be accused, or they don't want to be seen to be using the people you are working with for ritual purposes. So it is important that in our effort to promote the OKOBI business model, we try to highlight some of these ritualistic beliefs, the idea of Ogwego. Sometimes you give people money in the village, they say that the person will take it somewhere and use it to kill you. Sometimes they think that if you open a borehole in the communities, people think that when they drink from that borehole, they will die and you will use them to get wealthier and wealthier. So it is important we begin to highlight these occult economical narratives that are often used to undermine cooperative business ventures. And I think that it will go a long way in furthering, and promoting and fostering OKOBI business model and getting our people to confidently buy into it and take advantage of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyị wetakwa n'asụsụ ebe ka anyị enwe ihe ndị Igbo na-eji akpọ onye chi ọjọọ. You understand? So, and our people nwere ike na-asị, onye ga ebe ọbụla o tiri aka ihe emebie. Ebe ọbụla o tiri aka ihe emebie. Adịka nwere mmụọ ya na ya kwa agaghị. Ndị so onye ahụ ngwa bịa ka mụ na onye emewe business through OKOBI now. Do you think that this can also stand in the way? And if that is the case, how can we overcome some of those things? Because one might also think that OKOBI, people fail for different reasons. It could be the capacity or the capability to do a business, right? Because so this is the idea of OKOBI tapping into our individual differences to work together. So this whole idea of people now really bewitched, like that. How would you see it coming in the way, and what advice would you give our people to avoid this way of thinking?
The thing is that, yes, like we have noted, they will come on the way because they are narratives that undermine cooperation, collaboration. And they undermine business because always understand that sometimes business has to do with either progress, profit, and some people either making it and maybe others not making it, competition. So it is important that we draw attention to this because the promotion of OKOBI will not be complete if emphasis, if stress is not put on some of the narratives that could be used to undermine cooperative business ventures. So what can we do? We will have to continue the process of education and enlightenment and let our people understand that these narratives they do more harm than they do harm. Not even more harm than good. Let us not be doing comparison as if there is any value they add. They are completely destructive, and that they are antithetical to the, all the can be you are stopping yourself, you are holding yourself back. Let them understand that these narratives hold themselves. I enjoy wine. So at least Igwa Madina, so we continue to emphasize this, and we need to get people to understand anywhere we are trying to market this model, talk to people in the community, we should keep drawing their attention because it's all about reorientation. It's all about enlightenment. It's all about education. It's all about awareness. And they say knowledge is power. Immediately we put this realization into our people, I want to tell you, it will unshackle the boundless energies and they have so that they can invest and commit to it. So the solution is education, enlightenment, and in making sure that anywhere we are taking this model to promote it to the community, we draw attention to the people that, look, these narratives are not helpful, they're not useful, they will actually stop them from taking advantage of this business model.
Okay, don't put it too crudely, right? Because no matter how much you educate people, if they think something is real, it's real to them, right? So, honestly, namadu zunu destiny or zunu destiny mad, right? So, to you, it might sound as if the person the irrational, right? But that irrationality becomes that person's reality. So, how do you convince the person to think otherwise?
That's what I'm trying to say. I still think that education is key. Yeah, I don't want to present our people as they cannot learn, they cannot unlearn. Like today, we're even talking about upskilling and reskilling. Yes, if you hold on to a skill, and no matter what people tell you, you refuse, then how can you upskill? And I know that OKOBI business model is in line with this idea of upskilling and reskilling people. So
okay,
let us
just hold that thought. Let me bring in Noel Osuchukwu, who has come all the way. He's based in the US, he has businesses in Nigeria, and he's also trying to do this in his community. Let's bring him in and get his views, and then Professor Judin Zako will also come in at some point. But Noel, how did you start, and how did Dr. Leo Igweneku, did you encounter it in the process of setting up your own businesses and enterprises in Nigeria?
Yes, thank you, Professor. My name is Chief Noel Osuchukwu. I'm from Aleza Ogwa Nembitolu local government area. I run ex-Noel Farms Limited, and in the US, I manage long-term care facilities. So in the spirit of OKOBI, like you said, OKOBI means large heart, somebody that has a large heart, someone who can sacrifice for the good of others. So we started something small, very ambitious in my community, and how I go about it is, I thought my inspiration was my community has no natural resources. Agriculture, our people are no longer paying more attention to agriculture. So I thought within myself, what could I do to empower my people? But I realized that we have a very big gift, a great gift, which is human resources. We have human resources. So I felt that it would be important to develop the human resources. Those humans can create ideas, can have skills that can develop the community. So that was how we started. And so what program we have in my community is we have a union called Aleze Skills and Empowerment Union. And what I thought, I gathered a group of 9 individuals who have the capacity. They must have the capacity, that is the money. And they must have the heart, the willingness to share the money with the community. And they must not be seeking any reward. These are the 3 basic principles on which Aleze Skills Foundation is found. And we decided that all the young men in my community, from 18 to 35 years, graduates and non-graduates, we must empower them with skills. We must pass them through a training program, at the end of which We are going to pay for their training. We are going to pay for their accommodation. And if they need stipends to assist their training, we are going to do that. At the end of which training, we are going to set up their businesses for them, whether workshop, whether shops, but we are not giving them cash. So that is what we are trying to do in my community. So, and by the grace of God, it's a very big ambition. It's a Herculean task, but I'm happy to have the cooperation of 9 of my kingsmen who are participating in this program. And I've never been so optimistic in my life that this is a reality and it's going to work, even though people don't believe it. One of the speaker said something about people having some beliefs, or things are not going to work, things are fetish and all those kind of things. If I start looking at what people will say, if I start looking at what people believe, we cannot move forward with our program. So we are moving ahead with our program, as a skills foundation, and we are trying to empower young people. So at the end of the day, they will also be established to empower others in the community.
Have you already started? Have you already started?
Yes, sir. Yes, we have.
Okay.
And on the 16th of 16th of August, which is next Friday, we're having a massive career fair, whereby all young men and women in this community are coming back from all over Nigeria, where they are scattered, unemployed, especially unemployed people. We are going to recruit them. They are going to decide what they're going to do. We are going to have professionals, welders, ICT, tractor repairers, different kinds of professions. They will be here too to recruit who they are going to train for us. We are going to have a contract with them. We are going to pay them and make sure that the youth have started their training. We have started.
Okay. And in this case, you are training them to work as individuals, not necessarily working in groups. Is that correct?
Yes, on their own. But we also have a program for also have a program that is similar to OKOBI. Already we have a secretariat in our community by this foundation. That secretariat is not only for the youth, because many individuals have asked me, is this program only for the youth? What about us, the elderly people who are not willing to leave the villages? We will have a program for them by the grace of God, as God empowers us. We have a program. We also have women empowerment program. Everything is run in that secretariat. But for now, what we are doing is for the youth, age 18 to 35 years.
Okay, so the people you brought together, how were you able to convince them to work with you? Because it's all about collaboration here, right? So you talked about people who have the capacity, the large heart, and also people who are not expecting anything in return, right? So yes. How were you able to convince them to work with you? Because that will also be helpful to some of the people listening to us today who may want to collaborate with others to achieve some of the things we want them to do through OKOBI.
Yes, Professor, honestly, I was so excited because when I had this dream, I didn't know it was going to work. But I said, let me talk to one of the people. But what happened was, in our community, I know the people that have the capacity. And I know the people that have the heart. Not everybody that has the capacity has the heart to share. So I just looked at them and I selected those people that I know that they have the capacity and they have the heart to share. And I approached them. Luckily, not even one person said no. All of them were excited about this program. I didn't have any stumbling block because I chose the right people. Okay, so I was happy, and we have been meeting. There have been cooperation from every one of them. People have been hearing about this, and many people want to join. Many people want to join, but I say no. Let us limit ourselves.
Okay, no problem. Let's keep it a bit. Professor Jude Nzako, I guess you wanted to ask a question, maybe to Leo, or you add to this current conversation.
Yes. First, let me thank both speakers. And my first reaction will be for Dr. Leo Igwe, who talked about the narratives concerning trust. With what you have said, sir, what category of people would you say are caught up in these beliefs, in this ritual money, cloning lock, and the borehole story? So what category of people would you say are really caught up in this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's dropped. I don't know whether he's still here.
All right. Okay, if it's not here,
yeah, but it's something we can speak to, because even amongst what you may call the educated elites, some people also have some of these belief systems, right? And that's why, even from the religious perspective, beyond just the traditional ways of thinking, people have different belief systems that guide what they do. So, and I've come across people also who raise issues like this. They struggle to work with others. But one way of looking at OKOBI, which we are also seeing, is that OKOBI, as much as trust is a problem for it, but OKOBI can also help repair trust between people and also help them address their belief system. So that's one of the positive sides of OKOBI. If we're able to overcome the initial trust baggage, and then you move into an arena where you're able to do business with others, you learn from them, they learn from you. Because sometimes some of these issues are based on perceptions and probably suspicions, right? But once you start to work with people closely, that may give you a further insight into how they think, their capabilities, and the things they can do well to enable the business to flourish. That can be a way of repairing relationship. That's my take. Professor Jude, I don't know if you think otherwise.
Yeah, yes, I think you're absolutely right. That is what will eventually solve that trust problem. But I also think that if we adopt the spirit of OKOBI, that's to say, OKOBI is a business initiative, and it is not compulsory that all members of a community will be a member of that OKOBI. So if it has to flourish, maybe we can isolate those people who are already caught up in that belief system and then avoid them. They will eventually join. There must be some people in the community who already acquired the spirit of OKOBI who would want to work together, like Chief, I think Noel Osuchukwu is doing. If 10 people or 5 people could be identified in a community, and then they can start the OKOBI initiative, and then others will learn from it and then see for themselves that there is no issues with that. But certainly, I quite agree that the education is needed, because some of our people are caught up in this cycle of belief, wrong belief, and which has kept them down.
So if you are joining us, this is the One Kindred, One Business initiative brought to you by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government. And if you want to reach us, you can call us on 0911 436 0076. So if you want to join the conversation, if you want to ask questions about the One Kindred, One Business initiative, if there are things you want us to explain to you, please dial or call us immediately, call us now on 0911 436 0076. So whilst we're waiting for your call, let me invite Dr. Abiola Bashorun to say hello to the audience and tell us what she does.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Abiola Bashorun. I'm an environmental specialist, and I also have my background in the financial sector. So what I do is something that's got to do with financing the environment and financing climate change and everything we need to do. I'm happy to be here today. Thank you so much, Prof, for inviting me. I'm highly honored, and I can't wait to contribute my quota. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if people want to make money from what you do through the OKOBI here is One Kindred, One Business, or simply about group-owned businesses, how do you think they can make money through maybe green issues, or I mean, you can throw more light on what you think would be a good
Okay, I was listening to the previous profs that they were talking, and all I see here are opportunities, because I'm seeing everything not in a linear economy, but a circular economy. So I'm going to start from the people. For example, we get to a community and we test the soil. We also would know what naturally would grow in that environment. So let's take, hypothetically, let's take maybe cola or raffia or anything, there will be a set of people in the community that will be the growers of the products, which will be the raw materials that will be used by another set of people to refine it or manufacture something out of it. So the case is not looking like the case of Nigeria, where we have crude and we're just growing and export, and people are coming and doing the finished products and bringing it back in. So my own idea is to have everything in one. So we get there, a set of people are growing, another set we would have brought machinery and everything into there. So the cola can become Coca-Cola, for example, or the yam can be dried and powdered to become yam powder to export. However, the sharing formula will be corporately adjusted between the whole community such that no one is losing out or no family is losing out. Now, there are also people that we can find equipment, vehicles for to transport the finished products to the nearby market, Onitsha, Aba, Lagos, Ghana, Ethiopia, etc. So there's a whole lot that can be done. That's the financial arm. Now, looking at
given that people are unemployed, many people are unemployed, right? And the essence of the 1 Kindred 1 Business initiative is also to create opportunities for people.
Yeah.
So what do you see as the immediate job creation opportunities? Say, for example, something that can enable people to start earning money from, say, next month, right?
Yes. I believe that to start earning money from the next month, we cannot rule out service. We have to provide services. And that's why I like the fact that we're going to be training in the IT area and the digital area. I used to head the contact center of Barclays UK. We can quickly start to train them to start earning by rendering services, IT, or that, or also teaching. There's so many. But what I will always say is people don't see this thing as what you will earn immediately. I do not want to push anybody away from the agri part. What we will just be doing is making sure that whether you are in the long-term production area or the short-term, everybody is earning something by providing finance for their salaries to run from day one.
Okay, so what about the issue of, would I say, planting trees? So yes, it could be trees to check erosions or trees along the river banks.
Yes, sir. I had said that I was done with the financial. I was going to go into the environmental. Most of the areas in Imo State, for example, I was reading about Otamiri. We've been flying drones and looking at Otamiri, Wonre, and all the other water bodies. We find out that erosion is mostly found in those areas where you find water. However, there is a law that says that 150 meters left and right of the watershed belongs to afforestation and encouraging everything to do with the environment. So my plan is also to have us start to grow trees for carbon footprints. And those trees will just not be any tree. In line with the economic side that I have spoken about, those trees will be trees that can yield fruits that will be used either as a product or a raw material for production.
So how can communities, say for example, you mentioned Otamiri and Warrior. Of course, there are communities near these areas, right? Or rivers.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How can they, if they brought you in today to advise us on this OKOBI business and we are thinking about it, in practical terms, how would you help them? Because some of them are in the urban area, you know, Ndiowere, for example. Ndiowere, they may not go into a massive agriculture, or they may feel a bit disadvantaged, but now you're identifying an opportunity that's not far from them. So if they are to convert this to a group-owned business, how would it work for them? I'm just curious.
Okay. Let's start by saying thank you to the Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma who brought me and who has also given us an approval to start growing the seeds. We are going to have close to 10 million seedlings or even more than that, where people can start growing immediately. The beautiful thing about this is, in line with carbon footprints, we start earning. Once they see that that seed has gone into the ground, we start earning, right? Also, whilst the growing is going on, like I've spoken to you off record or offline, that we'll be working with Bank of Industry and all those other organizations and our partners and your partners to make sure that there is no lacuna, there is no space between when they're planting and when they start making money. So it's going to be seen as a poverty alleviation strategy where they start earning from day one.
Okay. So these areas you mentioned, are they readily available? So if somebody is listening to you at the moment and would like to start that maybe before the end of the year, would that be possible?
It is possible because we've already even started looking at the areas and putting them into lots. But we're hoping that by the time we meet with the team, which you know we have formed, we can then quickly meet with the community leaders and all. Everything is ready. We have the Minister for Environment and some parts of ecology have donated so many seedlings to us. So we're quite excited. You will see that this cuts across environment, agriculture, gender empowerment. It cuts across all the sectors. It cuts across all the sectors.
Okay, that's good to know. But what about what about the people? What sort of trees are we talking about here? And
What
if
sort
you
of
also trees or plants are you
Yes.
thinking of? Yeah.
All right.
I'm
thinking of a lot of trees, palm trees. I started to look at those products that have started going extinct. I spoke about ube. I spoke about ube. I spoke about ogbono and so many other products. I don't want to plug and play. When we get to a region, because we have partners through my office in the US, and we don't have problem with all that. When we get to an area, we will know what fruit or what product grows better there, because there's no point just taking something to an area where it won't flourish. So, and we're blessed in Nigeria, especially in Imo State, to already have a soil that can grow different products. Ukwa is another product I have my eyes on. Without even talking about edibles alone, there's a part of Imo State where they're producing baskets for tomatoes and all. My uncle has been telling me so much about this area. So those ones also, from day one, it's just to get them to expand what they have already so that it can yield income for them and also for us to be able to service whatever loans and to also to just keep training and having some sort of enlightenment going on ab initio.
Okay, brilliant. So because this is about livelihood, so we want to also move people from subsistence living to meaningful living, right? So
Yes.
do you know, would it be possible through the environmental initiative and green finance initiative to give people the sort of income they'll be proud of? Say, for example, even if you target a minimum wage of 70,000 naira, whatever it is today, how would these projects help people meet that minimum? Or would it be that the projects are not meant for those kind of large-scale income?
Okay. What I would say to you is that I have proof of concept, because waste management, environment, which is my area, has recruited over 15,000 youths nationwide. And we always pay minimum wage. So The only thing is, if we see that is eating too much into it, we break it into hours. 70,000 is for 8 hours a day. If we want to go around, some people will have to do 4 hours a day, etc. But I tell you, I have not. And again, when I was in the bank, I was group head retail. I've never been anything that is not retail. So everything we're thinking, all the products, all the business strategy we're looking at is for the bottom of the pyramid, which is where most of our people are, micro businesses.
Okay, thank you. Professor Ju. Prof, are you there?
Yeah, so thanks for giving me the opportunity. I think network has been horrible today. Just for Dr. Biola, I didn't quite get her introduction. I was banged off at the time. Is she working for a bank or any of the federal government agency? I lost that introduction earlier on. Can I get that before I ask her a question?
Thank you very much, sir. I don't work for a bank. I have left banking. I was there for 25 years. I own a company called ZL Global Alliance, an environmental management company that has over 15 subsidiaries, including one part called Content Services, which deals with financial services. We give all kinds of financial benefits, right? So I'm not working
right.
with the bank.
Okay.
Yes, but my company is working.
Yeah, I think that's fine for me.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
That's fine for me. Then just quickly, okay, just quickly, I know Prof. Amechi asked you a question before. How can your project now assist OKOBI in our rural communities? I didn't quite get that. I also want to find out how these can also assist those people who are looking for immediate income. I heard about seedlings and planting and erosion control, which is part of the climate action. So, but how do you think that some of our local people can start earning income, say within 3 months or 4 months, 6 months of getting engaged with some of your recommendations?
Thank you. I have gone, with the help of Professor Kenneth, we have even started doing a lot. I have met with the Minister for Trade. Thank God she's even from Imo, she's quite excited. So we started by even breaking into gender. There is a whole lot of funding for gender empowerment for women-led businesses. We've linked it to agriculture, we've linked it to environment, and we have linked it to poverty alleviation. So once that grouping is done, that starts from day one. Secondly, training and retraining. We're hoping, because we need to be far out with training. So everything is going to be broken into different sectors where we're going to put round pegs in round holes, and they're going to be benefiting from something that is more like an interministerial project. So I wouldn't like for you to look at it from one angle alone. There is agriculture there, which is a lot of planting. And that's the one that kept giving Professor Kenneth some concern, because he was saying that between when the plants and when the plants start to yield, how do the people earn? So, like I said, we're going to get money into the community, and every member of the community is going to be seen as a subset of the universal set of production in that area. So from day one, people will be put on salaries.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, thank you very much. If you are just joining us, this is the One Kindred, One Business initiative brought to you by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor under the leadership of Senator Hope Uzodinma.
Susie, nne m ahụ gị bụ sọ mma. Ọ dị ka ị nwetala ọrụ n'oyo company. You see nwanne m, mgbado udo dị o. O nweghịkwa ọrụ oyo company m nwetara. Ihe ị hụrụ m na-amụke wụkwa aka ọrụ OKOBI.
Ele nke wụkwa OKOBI. Dịka otupu enye m azụ. Ahụ chele m anya. Ahụ m chọrọ enyemaka.
Ya bụ na ịnụbeghị maka OKOBI. Ngwa gee ntị. OKOBI wụ atụmatụ ọma gọọmenti hiwere iji kpochapụ ụbịam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara aghara. OKOBI ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị o, maka ọha obodo gị niile. Naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị. Chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị, ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mee mepụta ya mma, dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ painapụl, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazichi usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka, hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ahụ ozugbo ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 ma ọ bụ 09114360076 09114360076. Ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara OKOBI. OKOBI wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma. OKOBI, ụmụnna wike, ọwụ ha agha.
So welcome back, and today we are having a special edition of the One Kindred, One Business Initiative series, because earlier on in the week, precisely on the 5th of August, that was last Monday, the governor, Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, has encouraged every community in Imo State, that's the 655 communities in Imo State, to come up with a business that the government can support. So this is an opportunity to ask questions about this pronouncement, what it entails, and how your community can be part of it. He was short of saying that it should be compulsory. Compulsory in the sense that every community should at least try. But if you don't try, and if you are not part of it, I don't think you will be forced to do so. But it will be a lost opportunity if your community misses out on it. So if you want to learn more about it, you can call us now on 0911 4360076. That is 0911 4360076. So the lines are open. We have 15 more minutes to go. So please call and let's address your questions. So let me go back to Dr. Abiola Bashorun. Having spoken, would it be convenient for you to share your contact details in case some of our listeners or communities want to follow up with you?
Yes, I can be reached on 0803 300 8008. And my email is bbash2001@gmail.com. Thank you.
Okay, do you want to say that again, especially the number?
080 0803 300 8008. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Chief Noel, do you have any more insights in case people want to also learn from you? If you don't mind, you can share your number.
Yes, thank you. Before I go into that, I want to thank Dr. Bashirun for the exposition, and I want to tell her that my community is ready, waiting for her to partner with us to make sure that her program is a success. I also want to say something about the belief system. If we start looking at what people believe, or fetish belief about ritual and other things, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to move forward. So we should, it's difficult to change people's belief system. So we should go ahead with this program without looking at what people believe. There should also be need for massive enlightenment, education, whichever program we are doing.
Okay, hold on. It seems we have a caller now.
Okay.
So, hello, who's on the line?
Morning, sir.
Morning. Can you speak up a bit? So, do you have any questions or comments? So your question is, how do you start, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a good starting point would be to go to the contact the office of the Chief Economic Advisor on this number you're calling with, and then we'll take it forward from there. So you tell us your community, and our office will be around to support your community to think through the business opportunities they can get involved with. Okay. I can hardly hear you. What's the other question?
I have a palm fruit interest.
Palm fruit interest. That's fine. Just call the number. We'll be happy to work with you. So it's not about you. Remember, this is about group ownership. So we, as much as individuals can do their own things, but the One Kindred, One Business initiative that the governor is promoting is one that involves groups. So that way we can lift more people out of poverty. And as you would appreciate, it is, they say when you want to travel far, you travel with others. But when you want to travel fast, you can go alone. But thank you for calling. So other callers, if you want to call, the number to call is 0911-436-0076. So Noel, have you given your number?
Yes. I really know what you are doing and supporting us.
Okay.
My number, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Echoing. +1 202 669 5750. +1 202 669 5750.
Okay, great. So let me invite Mr. Fabian Anyanwu to say hello to the audience and introduce himself.
Hello, good afternoon, Prof. Good evening, good afternoon, audience, and my fellow panelists. I am sorry I had a little hitch that made me not to join in good time, but whichever way, One Kindred, One Business initiative program of the state government under the championship of the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor, Professor Kenneth Amechi, has been making waves. And it's a very much an applauded program that His Excellency bought into the eye there, and ihe a na-eme ụkwa n'ihe a na-emere onwe anyị. Ọwa anyị nwa ji onwe anyị n'ala. So when we let ourselves to come out from the shackles we have been keeping ourselves into, we'll make headways. One Kindred, One Business initiative, so I very much thank Professor Kenneth Amechi for bringing up the initiative, and it has been working. So I very much applaud all of us.
And here, the initiative of the governor done through the office, right? So the office is championing it, but still the idea of the office of the Chief Economic Advisor. So can you tell us some of the things the office in and how you can support people?
Yeah, the office has been there for us. I got already bido. They can come to the office, make inquiries. I want these consultants, people who can give consultancy services. We have them who can come and tell you what you can do at any time. Check and don't want they will not test the soil texture and tell you nanka a flourish or have flourish. They will do it. And our office is there to give you that expertise advice. So
so far, what sort of areas can the mother
should you come to reference youths? These are people, they are graduates. They came together say rather than looking for white collar jobs. So they had to establish their cooperative. Hano into piggery, into snarey, fishery. In fact, a lot of in here in the Hanonia, of which I use on the upper for use as a yardstick. Definitely will get all we want. In here, the Basra, this youth restiveness will never be our portion.
Other examples, for you to name, business they are into poultry, right? So just be specific in terms of the business opportunities we are seeing so far.
Good. They are into poultry, they are into piggery, they are into fishery, even in here Basra crops, mogo, cucumber, and all the rest of them, they are into it. So in here we collective in the model, even I had spoke. She has an initiative that we can leverage into, we can leverage on, and those opportunities but they don't know how to go about it. I'm very happy with her. She shared her number, and definitely we'll link her up with some other people. OKOBI to start a business, but they don't know how to start. OKOBI doesn't mean that the name kindred doesn't stop at a kindredship. It might be schoolmates. It might be age mates. It might be friends. Through party. They can come up to say, this is what we want to do. How do we do it? By so doing, they will create jobs, they will profit, and in the garage, to 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira.
But Fabian, when did somebody is on the line to ask a question, and let's see, take that question and come back to you. So, because you know, okay. So, what is the question, please?
My question,
yeah.
This thing of a thing, at least I know when I experience here, in which organ were experienced here, one of women at the cooperative during the time of Governor William one.
Okay. Okay, I'm man here. Can you watch you jogging?
On Madole, any the number ole to stand at the cooperative.
Ginaga as a cooperative, and when a minimum of 10 people. Oh, here you make cooperative in Imo State. But here in a Kokuya, I want also a cooperative. You can start as a cooperative if you think that is a good model for you. But you can also start as a limited liability company. You can start as a partnership. So, but here in Achoko, we have a group ownership, and that group in a Kokuya should be from 5 upwards. So, but if you want to start a cooperative in Imo State, you need about 10 people as a minimum. But cooperatives, IWUHA and regulation and conventions on how they operate. But there are other business structures you can use. I
have my own farm.
Yeah, I'm going to a farm, Kegi. Yeah.
Produce banana.
Onani gi mege ya organ does omege ya. Okay, get you qualify as OKOBI business. You need to think about how to bring others on board. Yeah, at this particular one, you can create another one with other people because it's about group ownership. So that's but even in that your own model, you can have it in such a way that you may have 50-60% share, then there's 40%. So that way, yeah, will require a group-owned business, right?
Okay.
Yes. Ngwano, thank you. Okay. Dr. Biola Bashoru, I don't know if you have any final words. We are coming to the end of it.
Thank you. I was going to raise my hand that I have something to say. It's very, very important that I and my company and my team work with you to start to look at the following: demography pattern, population pattern, and business characteristics per location. This will kind of channel us in the right direction so that we're giving them the right thing from day one. All right, because there's ocean economy. Those people in the Uguta and the Biri, now Uguta, those ones, they too can have, stuff to do.
Okay, there is another question, Dr. Bashura. I think I got you. Let's see if you can squeeze in one more person. Yeah, continue. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Umuguma.
Okay, Umuguma. Okay, what's your question?
Okay, my question is, what is the business, maybe all individual, not
group?
Maybe organized people, maybe to partner or so.
Yes, we want you to incorporate others. But you must not force in people. Oh, begin a hammer so that they don't destroy the business. So what we are thinking about, people working together, people who share kindred spirits. It doesn't necessarily mean that get from the same village or the same town. As long as it's in Imo State, it has to be a registered business, profit-oriented, employment-oriented, and it's also group-owned. So here are criteria to qualify as an OKOBI business. Okay?
So my final words. Ndimo, kedu ihe unu na-eche?
Yeah, continue. Mr. Kehayi na-eche.
Yes, kedu ihe ndị Imo na-eche? Ihe awụ ihe ọma ka anyị mee ya n'ozugbo. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that exhortation. Prof, do you have final words? Time is not always our friend.
I think so far we've done well today. I must thank Chief Osusuku there. I like so much his own concept, and I think if he can give us a work plan so that we can extend that to other communities, that will help those that want to engage in philanthropy part of OKOBI. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And this is the time to thank our team. Mrs. Jovita Agu, Adeza Shaheme, and Adeza Waka, and of course, Fabian, a colleague. I also thank Noel Osuchukwu and Dr. Abiola Bashorun, and my co-moderator, Professor Judun Zako. I remain Professor Kenneth Amechi, the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government, under the leadership of Senator Hope Uzodimma.
Thank you.
Chichi baby, now you be this longest time see as you dey shine. E be like say you don't get job for oil company
Oil company job, I don't get any oil company job. This shine where they see me shine so now as a result of OKOBI.
Which one be OKOBI now? I beg also for your babe I need help bag.
Haba, now you never hear about OKOBI. OKOBI now one kindred, one business initiative. We go help wipe out poverty and create employment for you and everybody for your community. Check around you now. Use your sense. Calculate any business where you go fit set up together with your kinsmen, community members, and even your friends, whether na rice farming, palm kernel shells, poultry, fishery, pineapple production, rabbit keeping, oil production, honey production, plus other etc. Set them up as joint business with your family and friends. Then reach out to the office of the Chief Economic Advisor to Imo State Government. Him go guide you, direct you as you go take do am. This business go work well, bring ogbonge profit and create employment for we people.
How I go fit get them for phone abeg?
Oh yeah, call this number. You go get all the answers where you need about OKOBI. 0701 351 2035. 0701 351 2035. Or you call 0911 436 0076. 0911 436 0076. Or you book appointment to get meeting to find out everything about OKOBI. OKOBI, now the feature of the shared prosperity agenda of the Executive Governor of Imo State, Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma.
OKOBI, Omona Wike, Owoyala.
It's green for me.